What if the reason you feel exhausted is because you care about the wrong things? What if peace doesn't come from controlling people or protecting your image, but from quietly loosening your grip? In 2026, the world will continue to demand your attention, your reactions, your emotional energy. But Buddhism offers a radical alternative. You don't need to harden your heart. You don't need to escape society. You don't need to become cold. You only need to stop carrying what was never yours to hold. This is not about becoming indifferent. It is about becoming unshakable. Today we are going to explore 10 Buddhist lessons on how to stop caring, so that nothing can disturb your peace anymore. Listen slowly. Let each word meet you where you are, and allow yourself, perhaps for the first time, to rest. Let us begin. Lesson 1. Stop taking everything personally. One of the deepest causes of suffering is this simple habit, believing that everything is about you. Someone speaks harshly. You feel attacked. Someone ignores you. You feel rejected. Someone disagrees with you. You feel diminished. But Buddhism teaches a quiet truth that changes everything. Most human behavior has very little to do with you. People speak from their wounds. They react from their fears. They project their confusion onto the world. When someone criticizes you, they are not describing who you are. They are revealing where they are. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we identify too strongly with the self-image. The ego wants to be praised, protected, validated. It wants to be seen as good, right, worthy. But the more you defend this image, the more fragile you become. Imagine walking through the world like a clear sky. Storms may pass, words, judgments, opinions, but the sky itself is untouched. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves space in your heart. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Ask yourself gently, is this worth my peace? Is this mine to carry? Will this matter a year from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. When you stop taking things personally, something liberating happens. You begin to observe instead of absorb. You listen without collapsing inward. You respond instead of reacting. This does not mean you tolerate disrespect. It means you no longer internalize it. You can acknowledge behavior without making it your identity. You can hear words without letting them wound you. In 2026, let this be your quiet power. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Other people's opinions are not your truth. Other people's reactions are not a reflection of your worth. You don't need thicker skin. You need clearer boundaries. When you stop taking everything personally, life becomes lighter and you become free. Lesson 2. Detach from outcomes, not from effort. Many people think not caring means giving up, but Buddhism teaches something far more subtle and powerful. You are invited to care deeply about your actions, your integrity, your intentions, and then let go of the outcome. Most suffering comes not from what we do, but from how desperately we want things to turn out a certain way. You try to be kind, but you want appreciation. You work hard, but you want recognition. You love sincerely, but you want certainty. The Buddha taught non-attachment not as indifference, but as freedom from clinging. Clinging says, "It must go my way. I cannot be okay unless this happens. My peace depends on results. Detachment says, I will act with care, I will show up honestly, and I will release what I cannot control. This shift is profound. When you detach from outcomes, you stop living in anxiety about the future. You stop replaying scenarios in your mind. You stop bargaining with life. You simply do what is right, and then you rest. Imagine planting a seed. You water it. You care for the soil, but you do not stand over it, shouting at it to grow. Life works the same way. In 2026, practice this. Do your best, then step back. Let go of the need to be applauded. Let go of the need to be chosen. Let go of the need for certainty. Peace comes when effort is sincere and attachment is absent. You will notice something surprising. When you stop forcing outcomes, things often flow more naturally, and even when they don't, you remain steady, because your peace is no longer dependent on results. That is real freedom. Lesson 3. Stop arguing with reality. One of the most exhausting things a human mind can do is argue with what already is. This shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't feel like this. Life shouldn't be so unfair. But reality does not negotiate. The Buddha taught that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering begins when we resist reality, when we mentally fight what has already arrived. Acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. Acceptance says, this is here, this is happening, this is what this moment contains. It does not mean you like it. It does not mean you approve of it. It means you stop draining your energy, denying it. Think about how much peace is lost trying to rewrite the past or control the present. In 2026, choose a radical practice. Stop arguing with reality. When something difficult happens, instead of tightening, soften. Say quietly, this is what is here now. From that place, clarity arises. From that place, wise action becomes possible. Resistance creates tension. Acceptance creates space. And in that space, you regain your power. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how much suffering you add to it. When you stop fighting reality, life stops feeling like an enemy. It becomes a teacher. Lesson 4. Release the need to be understood. Many people carry a silent burden. The need to be seen correctly, understood fully, recognized for who they truly are. And when that doesn't happen, they feel invisible, misjudged, lonely. But Buddhism teaches a liberating truth. Not everyone has the capacity to understand you, and that is okay. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to defend your choices. You do not need to correct every misconception. The need to be understood often comes from fear. If they misunderstand me, I will lose my value. But your value was never dependent on comprehension. Some people will see you through their own limitations. Some will project stories onto you. Some will never truly know your heart. Let them. Peace begins when you stop auditioning for acceptance. In 2026, choose this freedom. Be authentic without explanation. Be kind without justification. Be silent without guilt. Those who are meant to understand you will. Those who aren't were never your audience. When you release the need to be understood, you gain something far greater, inner stillness. And in that stillness, nothing anyone thinks can disturb you. Lesson 5. Stop seeking validation. Become your own refuge. One of the most subtle ways we give away our peace is through the endless search for validation. A nod of approval, a message returned, a compliment, recognition that confirms we matter. From a young age, we are trained to look outward for reassurance. We learn to measure our worth through achievements, relationships, and the reactions of others. Over time, this creates a fragile foundation. When approval is present, we feel stable. When it disappears, we feel shaken. Buddhism teaches a radically different approach. The Buddha said, "Be a refuge unto yourself." This does not mean isolation. It means inner grounding. When you rely on external validation, your emotional state becomes dependent on forces you cannot control. People change, attention fades, praise is inconsistent. If your sense of worth depends on these things, peace will always feel temporary. To stop caring in a healthy way is not to reject connection, but to stop outsourcing your value. Notice how often the mind asks, "Did I do enough? Was I appreciated? Did I say the right thing?" These questions quietly drain your energy. They keep you trapped in self-evaluation instead of self-acceptance. In 2026, practice becoming your own refuge. This begins with a simple shift. Instead of asking, "Do they approve of me?" ask, "Am I acting in alignment with my values?" When your actions come from sincerity, kindness, and clarity, approval becomes unnecessary. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, the opinions of others lose their grip. Validation is addictive because it feels like relief. But like all addictions, it creates dependency. The more you seek it, the more you need it. Freedom arrives when you realize you do not need to be constantly affirmed to be worthy. You do not need applause to be complete. You do not need permission to exist as you are. This does not mean you stop caring about others. It means you stop measuring yourself through their eyes. Try this quiet practice. When you notice the urge to seek approval, pause. Place a hand on your chest. Take one slow breath and say inwardly, "I am enough in this moment." At first, the mind may resist. It has been conditioned for years to look outward, but slowly something stabilizes inside you. A calm confidence, a grounded presence. When validation no longer controls you, you speak more honestly. You move more freely. You live more lightly. In 2026, let your worth be self-sustaining. When you become your own refuge, no one can take your peace away. Lesson 6. Learn when to care and when to let silence speak. Not everything deserves your response. Not every situation requires your involvement. Not every conflict needs your energy. One of the deepest signs of wisdom is knowing when to care and when to step back. Many people exhaust themselves by engaging in every emotional invitation. Arguments, drama, opinions, other people's chaos. They feel responsible for fixing, explaining, defending or correcting. But Buddhism teaches mindful restraint. The Buddha spoke often about right speech, words that are truthful, kind, and necessary. What is often overlooked is this: sometimes the most skillful response is silence. Silence is not avoidance, it is discernment. In 2026, you are not required to attend every argument you are invited to. You are not obligated to respond to every message immediately. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotional reactions. Caring wisely means choosing where your energy flows. Ask yourself, will my response bring clarity or more confusion? Will this conversation lead to understanding or just repetition? Am I speaking from peace or from irritation? If the answer is not peace, pause. Silence creates space. Space creates insight. When you stop reacting automatically, you regain authority over your inner world. You stop leaking energy. You stop feeding cycles that lead nowhere. Many people fear silence because they associate it with weakness. But in Buddhism, silence is strength. It shows self-mastery. Imagine being like a deep lake. When stones are thrown, the surface may ripple briefly, but the depths remain still. This does not mean suppressing your truth. It means expressing it at the right time, in the right way, or not at all. Sometimes silence protects your dignity. Sometimes it preserves your peace. Sometimes it allows a situation to dissolve on its own. In 2026, learn to ask, is this worth my attention? Is this mine to resolve? Is my involvement truly needed? When the answer is no, step back without guilt. You are allowed to choose calm over conflict. You are allowed to protect your mental space. You are allowed to disengage without explanation. When you care selectively, you care more deeply. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you stop reacting, you start living intentionally. This is not indifference. This is wisdom in action. And when silence becomes your ally, nothing can easily disturb you anymore. Lesson 7. Release the illusion of control. Peace begins where control ends. Much of what people call caring is actually control disguised as concern. You try to manage outcomes. You try to shape how others behave. You try to predict the future so nothing goes wrong. And when life does not obey your plans, tension arises. Buddhism teaches a quiet but uncomfortable truth. The need for control is one of the greatest sources of suffering. The mind believes that if it can control enough variables, people, timing, circumstances, then peace will finally arrive. But control is fragile. Life is vast, conditions shift, people change. And the harder you try to hold everything together, the more exhausted you become. To stop caring in a liberating way is to recognize what is within your control and what never was. You can control your intentions. You can control your actions. You can control how you respond. But you cannot control outcomes. You cannot control other people's emotions. You cannot control the unfolding of life. When you confuse responsibility with control, you carry a weight that was never meant to be yours. In 2026, practice releasing this burden. Notice how often the mind says, If I don't manage this, everything will fall apart. If I don't intervene, something bad will happen. If I don't worry, I'm being careless. But worry does not protect you. Control does not guarantee safety. It only creates tension in the present moment. The Buddha taught that clinging, especially to outcomes and expectations, is the root of suffering. Control is a form of clinging. It is the refusal to accept uncertainty. Yet, uncertainty is not the enemy. It is the nature of life. Imagine floating in water. When you tense your body and fight the water, you sink. When you relax and trust the support beneath you, you float. Life works the same way. Releasing control does not mean becoming passive. It means acting wisely, then letting go. You still plan, you still care, you still show up, but you stop gripping reality with fear. Try this practice. When you notice yourself worrying about something you cannot change, pause and ask, what part of this is truly within my control? Then gently release the rest. Say inwardly, I have done what I can. I allow life to unfold. I trust myself to respond when needed. This is not resignation. It is maturity. When you release the illusion of control, something unexpected happens. Your nervous system relaxes, your mind becomes clearer, your presence deepens. You stop living in constant anticipation of what might go wrong. You start living in what is actually happening. In 2026, let go of the fantasy that peace comes from control. Peace comes from alignment with reality. When you stop trying to hold everything together, life holds you, and suddenly nothing needs to be forced anymore. Lesson 8. Stop identifying with your thoughts. You are the observer, not the noise. If you want nothing to affect you, this lesson is essential. Most people believe they are their thoughts. Every judgment, every worry, every memory, every fear. They assume these mental events define who they are. And so, when the mind becomes loud, chaotic, or negative, they suffer deeply. But Buddhism teaches something profoundly liberating. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them. Thoughts arise and pass like clouds in the sky. You are the sky. When you identify with every thought, you become emotionally reactive. A single idea can ruin your day. A single memory can pull you into the past. A single worry can steal your peace. To stop caring in a healthy way is to stop believing everything the mind says. The Buddha taught mindfulness not as a technique to silence thoughts, but as a way to see them clearly, without attachment. Thoughts are not commands. They are not facts. They are not you. They are mental weather. In 2026, begin practicing observation instead of identification. When a thought arises, I'm not enough. This will go wrong. They don't respect me. Instead of following it, pause and say, a thought is arising. This small shift creates distance. You stop being inside the thought. You start watching it. And when you watch a thought, it loses its power. Many thoughts repeat themselves for years, not because they are true, but because they are believed. The mind loops what is familiar, not what is accurate. Notice how exhausting it is to argue with your thoughts. Now imagine simply letting them pass. You don't need to suppress them. You don't need to analyze them. You don't need to fight them. You just notice. This is the heart of Buddhist freedom. When you stop identifying with your thoughts, emotional triggers soften. Insults don't land as deeply. Anxiety loses momentum. Regret loosens its grip. Because you are no longer taking the mind so personally. Try this daily practice. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Watch the mind. Notice thoughts come and go. Do nothing with them. You will discover something remarkable. There is a space between you and your thoughts. In that space, there is calm. The more you rest in awareness, the less reactive you become. You stop chasing every mental story. You stop feeding unnecessary suffering. In 2026, let your thoughts exist without letting them rule you. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are not your inner commentary. You are the silent witness behind it all. And when you live from that place, nothing can easily disturb you, because nothing needs to be taken so seriously anymore. Lesson 9. Accept impermanence. Nothing lasts, and that is why nothing can own you. One of the most powerful ways to stop caring about what disturbs you is to fully understand impermanence. In Buddhism, this truth is called anicca, the understanding that everything changes, no emotion stays forever, no situation remains fixed, no relationship, success, failure, or identity is permanent. Yet much of our suffering comes from forgetting this. We cling to pleasure, hoping it will last. We resist pain, fearing it will never end. We hold tightly to roles, labels, and versions of ourselves that are already changing. When you believe something should last, you suffer when it doesn't. When you believe something should never change, you fear its loss even while you still have it. In 2026, let impermanence become your quiet teacher. Notice how emotions rise and fall. Notice how thoughts appear and disappear. Notice how even the most intense moments eventually soften. Nothing stays. This realization is not meant to make life feel empty. It is meant to make life lighter. When you deeply accept impermanence, you stop gripping experiences so tightly. You stop panicking when things shift. You stop defining yourself by temporary states. Pain becomes more bearable because you know it will change. Joy becomes more precious because you know it will pass. Impermanence frees you from attachment. You no longer need to desperately hold on to happiness. You no longer need to fear sadness. You no longer need to protect every part of your life as if it might collapse at any moment. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from change itself, but from resistance to change. Think about how often the mind says, "I want this to stay the same. I can't handle losing this. I don't want things to be different." These thoughts create tension. Now imagine meeting change with a softer response. This too will pass. This is the nature of life. I can meet this moment as it is. When you accept impermanence, your emotional reactions lose intensity. You don't fall apart when things end. You don't become arrogant when things go well. You remain balanced. Impermanence teaches humility and peace at the same time. In 2026, let this understanding guide you. You don't need to control life because life is already moving. You don't need to cling because nothing can be held forever. You don't need to fear endings because every ending is part of a larger flow. Even difficult people in your life are impermanent. Even painful phases will shift. Even identities you thought were fixed will dissolve. When you truly understand this, you stop caring in a fearful way. You stop reacting as if every moment is permanent. Instead, you meet life with calm curiosity. You allow experiences to come. You allow them to stay for a while. And you allow them to leave. Impermanence does not make life meaningless. It makes it honest. And honesty brings peace. Lesson 10. Let go of the self. Freedom comes when there is no one left to defend. The deepest reason things affect you is not the situation itself. It is the sense of me that feels threatened. My reputation, my image, my success, my failure, my story. Buddhism teaches that much of suffering arises from attachment to the self, the idea that there is a solid, permanent I that must be protected at all costs. But when you look closely, this self is not as solid as it seems. Your thoughts change, your emotions change, your roles change, your beliefs evolve. So who exactly is this me you are constantly defending? The Buddha taught anatta, non-self, not as a philosophy to debate, but as a truth to experience. When you stop clinging to a fixed identity, something remarkable happens. Nothing has anything to attack. Insults lose their sting, failure loses its weight, praise loses its intoxicating pull, because there is no rigid self to protect. This does not mean you disappear or become passive. It means you stop over-identifying. You are no longer your job. You are no longer your past. You are no longer your mistakes or achievements. You are a process, a flow, a moment-to-moment unfolding. In 2026, practice loosening the grip on identity. Notice how often the mind says, "This is who I am. This is how I should be seen. This defines me." Then gently question it. What if you are more than any label? What if you don't need a fixed story to exist? What if freedom begins when you stop insisting on being someone? When there is less self, there is less suffering. You don't take things as personally because there is less person involved. You don't feel the need to defend, explain, or justify constantly. You move through life with flexibility. This is not emptiness, it is spaciousness. When the self loosens, compassion naturally arises. You stop seeing life as a series of personal attacks or victories. You begin to see it as a shared human experience. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is changing. Everyone is doing the best they can with their level of awareness. When you let go of the self, caring transforms. You still care, but without attachment. You still love, but without possession. You still engage, but without ego. And because there is no rigid self to protect, nothing can easily disturb you. This is the deepest form of not caring, not numbness, not withdrawal, but profound inner freedom. When you stop defending who you think you are, you finally rest. In 2026, the world will continue to be loud. Opinions will multiply. Uncertainty will remain. Change will be constant. But you do not need to be shaken by it all. You were never meant to carry everything. You were never meant to react to everything. You were never meant to care about everything. These 10 Buddhist lessons are not about becoming distant or cold. They are about becoming free. free from unnecessary suffering, free from emotional exhaustion, free from the constant pressure to manage, prove, and protect. When you stop caring about what doesn't matter, what truly matters becomes clear. Peace is not something you chase. It is something you allow when you loosen your grip. If these teachings resonated with you, let them walk with you through your days. Return to them when the mind feels heavy. Let them remind you that calm is always available. If you'd like more content that brings clarity, mindfulness, and quiet strength into your life, consider subscribing to this channel. Your presence here supports the sharing of peace with others who may need it. Thank you for listening. May you be steady, may you be clear, may you be free. Until next time, breathe gently, live simply, and let go.